after I graduated from college, I went to England, Ireland, on a trip from England, Ireland, and Scotland. This is the same trip where if you look on the YouTube videos, this is the same basic trip where the hot toddy story happened, which I think I told last year, if I'm remembering correctly. Everything is blending together. It's Desert Bus. My brain works differently here. It's frightening and kind of cool. So, I went to Loch Ness, and in Loch Ness, I was traveling with some folks that I needed some time away from them. So they went to go see Loch Ness, and I bust off into town and got horribly, horribly lost. Down back roads. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful countryside. The loch is absolutely fantastic. There's rolling hills. It was wonderful, but I wanted to get away from the tourist areas and see what I could find. And I rounded the corner of this kind of dilapidated fishers section of town, and I looked down the road, and there was this big Celtic ship over a door with faded lettering that kind of said Tir na Nog, and I was like, neat. I'm fresh out of college. I'm gonna go get a drink. It's gonna be fantastic. And I go and open the door, and it creaks, and I step into this little weird airlock, and it smells of sawdust and old grain. I shut the door, and then I open the door to the inside, and there was lively conversation I heard while I was within the airlock, and opened it, and as soon as I opened the door, it was silence. To my left, a bar, just a wall, looking like a packed university library, except with brown, grain-based liqueur. To my right, a bunch of dingy tables, an old ship's cabling spool, smaller ones that were the chairs, and a bunch of grizzled Scottish fishermen in toques, hunched over small glasses of that beautiful brown stuff, staring at me. And the bartender looks at me as soon as I walk in and goes, "Oi, you, come here, sit." And I go and I sit. And he's like, "All right, lad." He bends down on the bar. "I can see you're one of the tourists. Where are you from?" I was like, I'm from America." He's like, "Keep your voice down, or those men behind you are going to take you out back and beat you with sticks. They hear you're American." Shh. And I'm terrified, frozen, locked into this spot on the stool. "How'd you find us?" "I just found you. I kind of just wandered in." He's like, "All right, that's great. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to order a drink. You're going to order one. You're going to drink it. And then you're going to leave. Or those men behind you are going to take you out back and beat you with sticks." I was like, "All right, I will order one drink. I guess I'd like a Scotch." "Don't you say that. This is Scotland. We don't say Scotch here. We say whiskey. And it's not the one with an A in it, because if you drink it enough, you're too drunk to pronounce it. So what are you going to have? Because if you say Scotch, those men behind you are going to take you out back and beat you with sticks." I would like a whiskey." "That's right, you do. You're going to have one." And he turns around and just in one hand sort of sweeps off a bunch of small glasses. And in Scotland, at least in this bar, they have them upside down lined so you can just kind of like press against a mechanism that they screw into the bottom of it, and it just like gives you the perfect amount, 1 finger, 2 fingers, etc. And he just goes down the line and just boop, 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 lines up 12 glasses in front of me, filled with 12 different types of Scottish whiskey. And he starts going down the line and explaining me where they come from, how Scotch is made, just like this one, it's got a peaty flavor, like just gives me an education. And then he looks at me and he goes, "You remember all that?" "No, I don't." "Well, that's too bad. Start drinking." And I go to pick it up, and he puts his hand on the top of the glass and goes, "And don't you shoot that back. That there is a sipping whiskey. And if you shoot it back, those men behind you are going to take you out back and beat you with sticks." So I sit there while this man is just leaned on the bar, staring at me, unblinking. Little motes of light or motes of dust are dancing around in the light as the sun slowly begins to fade over the horizon and the light drags itself across the floor and across this bar, illuminating all of these glasses in front of me. And I managed to drink them all. And he's like, all right, and this is the part where you pay me. I was like, how much do I owe you? And he gave me a number. And then I just reached into my pocket and took out money and put money on the bar. And he goes, yeah, that'll do. Now get out of here before those men behind you take you out back and beat you with stacks. And then I left, drunker than I've ever been in my life, and promptly threw up in Scotland. And that's how I learned how to drink Scotch.
Upon reflection,
Yes, sir.
what is your over-under on whether you were in any danger of at any point being taken out back and beaten with sticks?
At the time, 100%. If I did not follow that man's word to the letter, that would have been the end of your boy Jacob.
Yeah. But
now,
upon reflection,
now I'm like, ha ha! I got ribbed. I got ribbed real hard.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah.
Does anybody want to try?